when we grow up, we start looking at career as on a need basis because we need to put meals on the table and we need to survive and all that. But now current generation, like my kids, they don't need that. They don't have that problem. So they need to have a purpose.
Welcome. Thanks for watching, everyone. Today I have a special guest with me. This is Mr. Kumar. Welcome, Kumar.
Thank you for having me, Dano. Thank you.
Yes, we are from the same kampung, as we say in Malaysia, from the same neighborhood, so to say. We are both in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, some more. So it's we could have met in person, but it is convenient like this to do some recording. I mean, my TV studio is still work in progress, so that's coming up soon.
That's
but
good.
Let us know, Mr. Kumar, what are you doing? What are you doing business-wise these days?
Well, actually, I'm into in construction per se, but I would consider ourselves more of a boutique construction firm because we don't take any job as per se. Like we don't do housing development, high-rise buildings. We don't do that. We do specific, like more like showrooms. Like currently, we have done many showrooms for car showrooms, especially for BMW. Volkswagen, in fact, we have done for Land Rover. So, and we done some work for Volvo as well. So we have multiple brands and we have built their showroom. So that's one of it. And the other one is we also have good exposure into facilities like building factories, like purpose-built factory. We don't do mass building. Like, for example, if someone come and say, okay, Kumar, I want to set up a factory. So we will have a statement of need from them and then be able to design and talk with the team and be able to build what they do. So we similarly, we have done many of that. So for example, we have done for 3 major oil and gas company. Like we have done work for Halliburton, Baker Hughes, or if you want to say like Schlumberger, we have built their facilities. And we also recently, so now the oil and gas industry a bit on the slow at the moment. So we're trying to do some work for semicon industry now. So we are trying to
silicon.
It's more like a semicon industry.
Oh, semiconductor. Okay.
Semiconductor industry, correct. So
that's a big one, right?
Okay. So because see, that could be a lot of continuity there because the lot of products eventually will need to have chips now because of the AI and whatever technology involvement. I think that will be a requirement. So the continuity, that would be some work involved there. So that's what we're trying to get into. And you see, to sustain in the industry, to be relevant and as well as to be competitive, what we do is we also have we buy and sometimes set up a different entity. Like, for example, we do MEP within our organization. Like, for example, mechanical, electrical works. We have another company, subsidiary company, associate company that we specialize. We have a dedicated CEO runs the company who takes care of all the requirements. So that will complement. It's in a construction, you have many different elements. For example, scaffolding, safety. So we have another company that provides those services. So the good thing is when you go to any client, then we can tell them that we be able to coordinate and deliver the job better because most of the works are done within in a group of companies that we can able to share and coordinate work better. This also allows clients to say, I can start immediately because I don't have to wait for too much time waiting for tenders and all that. So we can execute the work faster as well. So beside that, you see, I'm an entrepreneur. So so I don't really run the company. But sometimes it's important to identify your skill. If you know that you're not a guy who able to run an organization, but if you're able to creative strategic input we can give. And then that works. I think sometimes it is my case over the years, I'm able to identify my strengths and my weaknesses. So I think it's good for anybody to identify where your strength lies, and then don't at this age don't try too much trying to correct your weaknesses.
Oh, there you go. We're already getting into the wisdom and stuff. I love that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you're an entrepreneur. So the construction business is only one of a whole portfolio of businesses that you are running and owning and managing,
Yep.
kind of.
No. Okay. See, we have another company that we set up about 5-6 years back. What we trying to do that company is we trying to bring in ESG element into any operation, like more like a process. For example, see, currently we are doing with one project in semicon industry. We're trying to do to save. See, what happens is this particular industry sometimes they have a lot of wastewaters where you need to be treated. So there will be a lot of transportation costs because the big volume of water cannot be discharged in stormwater. So what we are doing is we're trying to come up with a system. In fact, we successfully completed a POC, and we will be eventually running the actual unit. There are many charters into it. So what we do, we're trying to get one of it like a processed water, for example. So this also will save water. We can be able to recycle the water into the process and whatnot. So that's one of it. So in fact, the other business what we are doing now is actually car detailing. In fact, we do that particular business. We do cleaning services like a facility services. So what we do there is we also trying to introduce social part of the sustainability. What we are doing is we trying to hire local boys who have not done colleges well. We hire them, we train them, teach them how to do car detailing. So then what we do is we provide those services to the showrooms like after service, like BMW showroom. Currently, we are doing with Volvo and BMW showrooms, where what we do is where the customer send the cars there. So after the car been serviced, they need to wash the car. So we provide these boys the skills to wash the car as well as do a detailing for the car. So that's also sustainability because we give a career path for these boys. So over the years, they trying to give a certificate for them, and then they are able to the salary. I mean, the income can be improved as the skill set improves. So that also part of the sustainability, how you sustain people. And most of our employees we are having local. We try to avoid as much as having foreigners to take this job. Okay, that's one of the company that we're doing.
Right. So bad luck for me then. I cannot get a job at your company, huh?
No. You see, it's all depend on the skill set that people, right? If the skill set require, we hire people. Normally, like I said, we hire good skill where you're able to fit the organization. Yeah, why not? We do have foreigners anyway.
Yeah, no problem. And I understand that you want to support the local community. That's completely fine. And I think it's a very noble cause of yours to follow, to try to help these young people to get a foothold, get some kind of income. I mean, car detailing is something I also would have to learn first. So I think these guys might be ahead of me anyways.
Yep. You're frozen for a while just now.
Yeah. So something is, our internet is a bit choppy here, but now we still can. I still can hear you and see you right now. Okay. Wow. So you are doing environmental sustainability. You are helping people to get jobs. So you're doing a lot of noble things as an entrepreneur, and I really admire that. And
but it's not me alone. It's not me alone. Meaning we are partners with people who are passionate about this. So I think that's good. We have people who are passionate about doing this around us. So that's good.
Yeah, and I would like to find out, how did you find all these people and how did you grow into this Kumar who he is today? So this is why we do our little time travel here at our podcast, where we go back to 10-year-old Kumar, and then when we kind of discover how he was, so we can get a clear picture, like what is the path to becoming a Kumar like you are today. So tell us, what was Kumar when he was 10 years old?
Okay, you see, when my dad was he's a shopkeeper. He runs a small shop, like a grocery shop, small, in a village. So we all are child labor for that. When you start, you come back from school, you work there, you do that. So of course you learn about business, you small things. You just purely trading anyway, right? So of course you see that is if you have skills and you're able to do that. I didn't do well in school, by the way. So I quit school early. Not that my dad can afford. I cannot continue my study myself. Maybe I didn't have that tag for it. But what happened was I always wanted to do business. So I've failed businesses anyway. So when we start something, we have challenges. So we have failed business. Like for example, I'll give you. I don't know. You're familiar with Chendul, right? If you're in Malaysia, you know that dessert.
Yeah. The dessert Chendul.
Yeah, right. Dessert Chendul, right? So that's one of my first business. I failed miserably, right?
There you go. I mean,
yeah.
And that was where? Where did you grow up? You grew up here in KL or in Malaysia? In KL.
No. Yeah, all in Malaysia. Say I was from a small town called Jenjaru, that within Selangor state. Then this business that I moved out from there and stayed with my friends, and I was trying to do this business and didn't do well. So didn't do well in college, didn't do well in this business. So I started looking for a job. So I started working for about 4 years. So first 2 years, that's another interesting part I'm gonna share. See, when I started looking for a job, right? So fortunately, this was 1994, 93, 94. So fortunately, the economy was good. So I applied for jobs. So I applied 3 jobs. I still remember the 3 jobs I applied for. I applied for storekeeper, accounts clerk, and a salesman. These 3 jobs I applied. So all 3 offer was there. Within a week. See, those days you get your offer letter by mails. They wait for your mails and you come back. So within 2-3 days. Within 2 weeks, I got all the response from all these companies. Say, here you go, your offer letter. So I think that was one of my, I would say, the decision that I made brought where I am today, because I was looking at all the 3 offer letters. I said, if I were to be a store clerk, I'll probably will end up as a store manager one day. That's about it. And then I am gonna go. Accounts clerk, because I didn't do any accountancy, more on entries. Maybe the worst come to worst, I can be a senior accounts guy, and one day that's it, right? Then I thought, if I do a salesman job, I get to meet new people, then that could be an obvious opportunity for other things. So I decided to take up the salesman job.
So all 3 actually agreed. All 3 of them said, yes, come and work with us. They all, okay, well, that's so well. So you had 3 application and 3 yeses.
Yeah, wow. 3 yeses. Then I was wondering, okay, what do I do now? So I decided to take the salesman job. So then, I come from a small village. My exposure is not really great. So what happened was, after that, I went and worked for this particular company. So they still exist now. I think called Fictus. That time was small. Now they are small listed company. So there was a building material trading. So that's what we do. So we import materials from Europe and this part of the world. So one of the plus point I had was I could speak decent English. So most of the time you have to communicate. So most of the time you're able to communicate with the principals and all that. So that was an advantage for me. So when I work in the job, the first 6 months I couldn't bring a single dollar sales. First 6 months.
Okay.
Then I realized that this is not cut for me, right? So I went to my boss and I said, okay, I want to quit because I think this job doesn't fit me. I can't bring any sales. But I could get appointments, but I just couldn't get sales. Then my boss told me, okay, next 3 months, give yourself another next 3 months. Then you stay with me. All the appointments that you make, you bring me along. Like a coaching. This I'm talking about 1994 and 85. So I think he did a big favor as well for me, because that he taught me how to do sales and this. So there I learned. So I learned a lot of things. The following year, I did one of the best sales deliveries for the company, right? Able to sell, learn how to sell. Then recession came in 1997, 98. So I was working for this British company then. I moved job after that. So I was working, my last job was working for this British company. So during 1997, during the crisis, the exchange rate has gone, crazy. If you go back to 97, 98, the exchange rate was crazy. So we couldn't sell imported materials from UK, but the pound was almost 6 to 7, I think, at that time. So we couldn't. So the material became very expensive. So we can't afford it. So I was, in fact, 4 months, 5 months, did nothing, meaning no sales, but can't do anything, right? So then I went and told my boss, why don't you give me a VSS, that I can quit, whatnot. So I know it's going to come anyway. So, but I rather you go and volunteer yourself and ask for it. The only thing I did was I requested to see whether I can still sell the product on my own. So that's how I started, able to trade the same product they were selling on a smaller scale. Then slowly we got into interior fit outs, then slowly grow into construction to where we are today. So that's how my growth was. So
yeah. Wow. So this is how your story went from applying for 3 jobs, getting 3 yeses, picking the sales manager job, failing for 6 months, then about to quit. And then your boss was kind enough to come and hold your hand and teach you how to actually do the sales conversion, do the sales pitch, right? And it worked out. So, and from there, you went and built your own empire, so to say. That is quite impressive, huh? So, yeah, I mean, sales above else, says John Logan. So that's, I guess, a good proof for, if you know how to sell, I think it's a highly important and valuable quality and skill set to have. So knowing how to sell is, I think it's the essence of any business. I mean, you can have the best product on the planet. If you don't know how to sell it, or you don't know someone on your team who can sell it, it's worthless. So you're the guy who can make the sales happen. And I think you have proven that this is a great skill to have, and it's a basis to build, several businesses that you are running now. And that's kind of the groundwork for it. Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. So if I need advice with selling, you are the guy to talk to. You know how to sell. That's fantastic. And maybe you can share with our audience, I mean, this is so important. So if you have some advice, I mean, we can go a bit broader on entrepreneurship and all that personal wisdom, but we can also be more specific about sales. So if you would teach someone, if you were the boss today and your employee had failed for 6 months, and he would, you would take him by the hand and would teach him, how sales work, what would you tell him? What would be the things you would teach him?
Well, it's like every business has got its own way you approach, right? Mainly depend on business that you are in. Like, for example, in my businesses, it's about pain points. For example, like somebody want to build a building, so they got no clue how they want to do it. So we need to identify first, am I the right person? Am I giving them the right how do I say, brief? Am I giving them the confidence that okay, this guy can do it? So forget about selling first. Tell them that, okay, why me? Okay, this. So if you're able to identify the pain points first, that's the key. Okay, I know these are the areas of the weaknesses. Okay, what happens if they don't identify the right contractors? Okay, I'm not saying I'm the best. That's why we have our credentials. I've done this before. We have performed before, and slowly guide them. And see, most of the time when we pitch for design and build, especially design, I'll give an example, design and build, right? People are always wondering, can this guy will be expensive, or is it going to be more?
It's a very popular question. Expensive.
So, So normally what we do is we also even tell the client what we do. They call it a term called GMP, guaranteed maximum price. Meaning, if you okay, I'll tell you to build this factory and until you just walk in with your suitcases and your computers into the office, will cost, let's say, X amount of dollars. Let's say 1 million, for example, right? Then I will max that 1 million. Let's say if for some reason the cost more is on me, not on you, unless you make the changes. So that gives them the confidence. Okay, my price, I've kept my prices. They're able to work on their budget better. So able to do it. So this is like, for example, how I would tell them that they build the confidence, saying that take away all the elements of their concerns. That's one of it. And the other thing is, are we adding value to the organization or in what they do? So that's another thing. Identify area, like for example, when we start pitching for some of the jobs, let's say for example in the car cleaning, why us? Okay, like for example, we're building continuity. We're able to. I have pool of people able to. So it's not like I send few guys there and then tomorrow the guy don't come to work. I got no one to work to. I have pool of people able to do service. That's a continuity. That's one of it is selling. Okay, price is just an element, but we give given them the confidence, able to deliver, taking the pain points away. It's one of the key things. I mean, that's okay. If you ask me, that's more of selling. If you are able to identify the pain point, you're able to solve it, I think you're almost there. So that's one of the key. And the other thing is like you asked me why I'm having this many companies. It's not that we some of the company we take over. See, over the years, learn from my own mistakes as well. So what we do is, as an entrepreneur, when you start business, you want to make profit. So that's what we all for. You want to make money, right? So most of the time, what happens is we spend a lot of time looking at profits, and we don't build the company. We just do it. So sometimes we can see in other people, they have a company. See, they some of the entrepreneurship, small entrepreneurs like this, those who are coming up, one of the key elements is how do you manage your cash flow? That's key. Sometimes it sounds easy, but you take it from me, it's not. It's the same for everybody. So we learn the hard way because we gone through that. So one element is cash flow. The other thing is once you able to manage your cash flow. So that's where I normally end up helping people. Okay, the man I will come involved in the company. We manage the cash flow. So then we can plug and play. That means I take some of the elements of costs away. Like for example, administrative can be consolidated in one place. You don't have to spend money on that office space. So you can plug and play. That's one thing. So once they start making profit, any organization, I will say next key element they look at, how do you sustain the company? Sustainability is important as well. I say sustainability means continuity. There's a business that you always have continuity. Once you have these two elements, the next one I would say that people need to look at, how do you create value for your organization? That's another key. So if you have these three elements go concurrently, then I would say you're running a successful company, which we are still struggling. Like sometimes in some company we are profitable. What is the sustainability part of it? Then are we creating value? So I think when you create value, that's when you can have talents, the good talents, acquire them, show them how the company can grow. People can grow together with the company. And when you have value, meaning say somebody wants to buy your company because you got a system in place, you got a proper process in place. So all those elements are also important for an organization. So if you have that, then I think you're pretty much there, And then it also must give room for let it be your team members, everybody. That always has to be creativity in place. Continuously, people can allow room for people to be creative. That's another element I would say is the key to look at running an organization. Yeah, doesn't matter what business you do, but I think these are elements that are important. Yeah.
Very good. That's very good advice. So to summarize, number one, profitability. Number two, sustainability. Number three, creating value. And by value, you mean not creating value for the company's clients, but value as of structure and automation, SOPs, and things that would make this company run on itself and would theoretically make you like able to leave without it breaking down. So it would be like value on the marketplace. So for somebody else to take over somebody else. So because it's not like a one-man show, and when this fella gets sick or goes away, then everything breaks down, right? Yeah. These are good. So we have already coaching for what makes a good sales guy and what makes a good company. Holy cow, that's a lot of stuff to take in here. Thank you so much for all these insights, Kumar. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure.
If you have any words of wisdom to share as a closing sentence for us and for our audience, you're welcome to do so.
Well, like I said, in a business, sometimes it comes with different need. Like for example, I give you this is a nutshell. See, today's kids, like when we grow up, we start looking at career as on a need basis, because we need to put meals on the table and we need to survive and all that. But now current generation, like my kids, they don't need that. They don't have that problem. So they need to have a purpose and all their passion. So if these two is something that you need to provide this in your organization. If you want to hire somebody younger, we need to be mindful of these two. Very few come for need today. People need to understand the purpose of them, or sometimes people clueless. Teach them a purpose and a passion. Have to grow a passion into it. I think you can have a great company. It's a challenging area that you look at it, but I think that's what we need to do. I think moving forward, if you want to hire new talents, you want to see continuity of your organization. These are key elements that you need to have in the organization, so that you know that people every day come to work because they want to come to work, not because you're paying them.
Wow.
That's a challenging part, I think.
I'm so glad I asked, man. So there's another gem. So moving away from need to passion and purpose. Yeah, I think that's also very important. Yeah, I mean, back in the days when scarcity is the main topic, then everybody just needs to go and get paid. But as soon as, scarcity goes away, the question is like, why am I doing this? What is the bigger frame and the purpose of this? I completely agree. So this to answer this question as a business owner, as an employer, it makes a big difference, I guess, and it helps you to grow a team of people who are happy to do what they do rather than they just stay for the next paycheck.
Yep.
Fantastic. Oh my God. I can only imagine what else you would have to share, but we are already reaching the 30-minute mark. So I would say at this point for today, I would just thank you very much for being here and sharing all your wisdom.
Thank you. Pleasure.
We can do another session if you like, because there seems to be much more that you have to share. But for today, I will say thank you very much, Mr. Kumar. And all the links that you would like us to share, I will put it under the video so people can reach out to you. People can contact you if they need more words of advice from Guru Kumar.
Sure. Thank you.
For today, terima kasih. Thank you very much.
Yep.
See you soon.
Thank you. Yep.